Okay, a couple more things about the knee levers before we move on, and that is with the F lever. Remember, if we're at G on the 3rd fret and we went up 3 frets and added the F lever, we got the G7th, which led to the C chord at C open. This position here with the G7th is also a diminished chord, and so the way you an easy way to form diminished chords on the E9th neck is to just raise the E string with the F lever. So the notes of the diminished chord are all 1.5 frets apart, or a minor third apart. And the reason it's called a diminished is because the spacing between the notes is getting smaller. And so when you form a diminished, you lower the 3rd a half and you lower the 5th a half. And so those notes are getting smaller, and they're all the same interval, minor third. So it also works out that this chord is named not by any of its notes. So here it is, the B note. It could be a B diminished, or this note, which is the D note, could be a D diminished, or the F note could be an F diminished. And then the inversions occur every 3 frets. So and the other way too. The B diminished wants to resolve somewhere. It's a tension chord. It wants to resolve somewhere, and it frequently wants to resolve to the 2 frets up open position. B diminished, C. B diminished is the 7th harmonized scale note in the C scale. It's B diminished. You're going to C. Yeah, but diminished can go resolve in lots of different directions. One of the common songs that I don't know all about the diminished, but what I do know is, like in that song, Buddy Emmons' song, The Preacher, it's an F, and there's a pretty nice progression that goes from B flat, B diminished, back to F, to D, to G, C, F. It resolves to F. So if you want to find a diminished chord on your guitar, let's say it's a B diminished. Well, let's try a different one just for example's sake. Let's just say we want to find a C diminished. Well, the rule is you go 1 fret back of where the C open would be. So here's C at the 8th. Go back 1 and add the F lever. And that's the reason that is because let's say here we're at C. If we raise the 4th string, we're really getting C sharp there. So that's why it becomes a C sharp diminished. So if you want to find a diminished chord, just go 1 fret behind and add the F lever. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was this knee lever that lowers 6, a whole tone. We didn't talk about how to use that, and you're going to have to experiment around with that. You can get some interesting resolves, and Buddy Emmons used it on Danny Boy. But what I wanted to mention was that when you lower a whole note with the knee lever, and if you raise it with your B pedal, as you know, well, that'll split in between, and then you have, in the pedals down position, you have a seventh chord. So here it is without that. So it wants to lead to the 4 chord. You're going to have a split tuning set up on your guitar to take advantage of that, but it's a good position. And then lastly, I just wanted to say this was entitled Knees That You Need, and honestly, you only really need the two. The first two that we talked about, the E to E lower, and the raise, E and F pedals. The other ones are fine, but you don't really need them, and you can play an awful lot of music just with those two knee levers. The third most common one, I guess, is the one that lowers the second string, and then everything else is just something more fun to deal with later. The B to B flat lower on the vertical, you can get most of the same stuff just by moving back and moving a fret back and adding the F lever. So, although you can't get some of the chords, but a lot of the moves you can get. So, the knees that you need are the E and the F knee lever, and all the other is fun but not necessary. Thanks.